Hello from Scarlet and Chains.
Welcome back to Satanic Panic.
Part 2. So we're particularly excited about this one. Well, to be fair, we were really excited about the first one.
We're excited about everyone.
Yeah, just everyone's exciting. This one is all based around the second rune in the runic alphabet, which is URUZ. And that is very much sort of based around good health. So
which is super appropriate at the moment with just the
absolutely
state of everything.
Yeah. So we've got a little video to show you. It's like a sort of arty advert, I suppose you could class it as, but they're just fun to do. So we kind of think we're probably going to do one of these for each of them.
So much thanks to Nick J. Townsend from week 13, because as you can tell from the state of us, it's been a bit mad recently.
It has just a bit. Yes.
I was going to say, we've survived the apocalypse, literally. If you don't know what that's about, check out our social medias for some awesome pictures with the fantastic time we had at V2A Fest.
Yep.
Can't wait for that next year. And we're back at events again. Well, some events, so we're sticking sort of local to begin with, but hopefully as sort of restrictions ease and health issues, we've both got, ironically, hence why good health's so appropriate with this one.
I mean, we haven't even had a chance to dye our hair or anything, so...
Roots, chip nails, very dark circles under the makeup, but worth it. Absolutely. Fucking worth it, because these are awesome.
Absolutely. And we'd also very much like to say thanks to Dave and Luke and everybody
at Factory.
Yeah, they've been absolutely blooming wonderful.
And this wouldn't have been possible without them and their amazing skills.
Definitely.
So thank you very much to Factory.
Yep.
And thank you very much to Nick Townsend from week 13, whose video we are going to show now.
And there it is. So we hope you enjoyed it. Arty, adverty, video, whatever you want to class that as. Again, thank you so much to Nick. Absolutely wonderful. The lighting and the idea of using our logo and making it out of sticks and so on. It's, yeah, fantastic.
Wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful. Really caught the vibe. So let's actually talk about the items themselves. And here we have the black envelope of wonderment. Yeah, you can tell we've been working on this way too long. So, to begin with, the very first one I'm going to pull out. And I'm going to double check because we've been shooting this a couple of times. We've been getting these wrong.
There'll
so
be
I'm going to have a
outtakes.
look at these each time.
There will be outtakes.
We might put outtakes. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, dear me. But this is good health. So this is all based around URUZ as the main root for the bind rune, being the second letter in the Firth Arc alphabet. Easiest way to describe it, really. I know there'll be people who say it's not an alphabet, but layman's terms, and we're very good with layman's terms. We like those. So the idea is the fact that obviously we're wishing everybody good health, which we really are. We really wish everybody good health. There's a few runes that you'll see inside there. Obviously with bind runes you tend to bind multiple runes together, so you've got URUZ to begin with, so that is very much strength and good health. You have Hagalaz, which is controlling a crisis and inner harmony. You've got Awaz, which is endurance and protection. You have Perthro, joy and harmony. Definitely all need joy and harmony. We have Soilo, which is guidance, hope and success. And we have Bokana, which is life changes and liberation. And obviously with every one of these you have an art card that comes through, so there's that, and they have a description there which also describes everything that we've been talking about.
And the number.
You'll notice they're all numbered exactly the same as last time, so the same as the item, so everything all match up. And you'll notice the fact there's a few things you might not necessarily have expected to see in there, because we're not just talking about physical health, obviously, which is incredibly relevant at the moment, but we're also talking about mental health and spiritual health as well, because health comes from the balance of all of it together. So we're wishing you all good health, physically, spiritually, mentally as well. So that is URUZ for you. And if we go back into the black envelope of wonderment, if you would like to pull out the next one.
So the next one is Lilith. Oh, we've wanted to do a Lilith pendant for a long time, because Lilith is a deity we both hold very, very dear. The most important thing with Lilith is she's been very much sort of taken over by Hollywood. There are various awful and inaccurate predictions in films, and religion always likes it to say, let's be honest, but Lilith is an incredibly powerful deity for all women, and I mean all women. Lilith is the original fuck the patriarchy. Lilith is here to help you be heard when you're not being heard. She's very, very good with issues of the reproductive system and hormonal issues, which, as a lot of you know, I've gone through a hell of a lot of that myself this year, so I've worked very, very closely with Lilith. And Lilith is also a very, very good healer. She's very good at healing traumas. And as I say, though YouTube doesn't particularly like us discussing this, she's very good at healing sexual traumas and bad experiences, and to help you get back to who you want to be. Lilith is a caring, mothering deity, but she's also a fucking badass. And I know there is a hell of a lot of you out there watching this that will vibe with this. We know what life's been like, so if any of you out there feel a pull towards Lilith, even if you don't want the pendant or anything, look into Lilith, because she is such a powerful deity and so relevant to a lot of us, because it's been quite a traumatic few years for a lot of people. So Lilith is a great place to start if you're looking to get back to yourself and take your power back.
Back into the envelope of wonderment it goes. The next one, double check it's the right one, is our Plague Doctor. Now I know there's a few of you being quite excited about this. We were excited about this.
Oh, yes.
This is where our Plague Doctor comes from. Now, our thoughts on the Plague Doctor is very much that there's so many of us, especially this time, with current things that have been going on, who've been looking after so many people. For example, when everything started and so on, we were going around and so on, buying food and everything for our elderly neighbours and so on, as I know so many of you others have been doing as well, for those who are physically not able to get out and do so.
And mentally supporting an awful lot of people around us that were struggling quite hard.
So it's been a tough time, as we all know. It's been tough for everybody. And this is the whole point where the Plague Doctor comes from. Yeah, they were the most amazing people when you think back to the Black Plague and so on. And the one thing, though, they had to do, yes, they went into sort of horrible environments and everything, but they had to protect themselves first before they went in. Obviously, nowadays, sort of, you've got respirators and God knows what and everything. They were using the equipment they were able to use. And that's what we're saying, is use what you have around you. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely, help as many people as you can. That's what human society is about, really, is the fact that we will always try and help everybody as we go along. But do make sure that you protect yourself as you do so.
Absolutely.
We have the horns of strength, and we all have so much strength that it's untapped. We don't even realise we've got. But that strength still needs protecting. And that's really sort of where this all comes from. Back into the envelope of wonderment. And the last one.
But by no means least.
No means least at all.
Our Mindful Dragon. Now, this little one is possibly the cutest pendant we've ever done.
Definitely.
Don't tell Sabra.
Don't tell Sabra.
She'll come for us. But the Mindful Dragon is a bit of a brainchild of mine that's been sort of knocking around in my head for many years when I think about sort of my personal energy, sort of my life force, my basically sort of what makes you you, sort of what powers you, sort of like your battery. I always think of it as a little dragon holding a candle, because in life, no matter how much you love what you're doing, or even if you don't love what you're doing so much, because I've been on both sides of the fence. I have burnt out in situations, as of you, where we've loved what we were doing, and also burnt out in situations where we've hated what we've been doing, but it's needed to be done. So burnout can happen to anybody, and if you don't think it can happen to you, then it can. It really, really can. It's one of, they're saying it's sort of a disease of the modern era. So burnout is basically when your life energy goes out, you're done, you're depleted, there's nothing left to give. And that's when this little cutie comes in for relighting you. And what that symbolises, no matter what we go through, no matter how hard, stressful, painful, traumatic, we can come back from that, and we can come back just as bright. It's going to take time, but we can. You know what I mean? This is your message. You can come back from anything. This little cutie has got your back, and every time you go out, they will relight you. But the message to take from it is, every time you relight yourself and you bounce back from a situation that's hurt you or damaged you or drained you, you lose a little bit more of your candle. Every time you relight it, you lose some of that precious wax. So what you've got to say to yourself when you feel yourself getting to the end of your energy reserves, is this worth burning myself out for? Or do I need to take a step back and look for another way around? Your dragon's always got your back, but you need to protect your life force and your energy as well. And it all ties back into health, because there's a hell of a lot of people in this community. You're all givers. You're all amazing people.
Oh, yeah.
And this little guy is just here to remind us we need to take care of ourselves as well. Very much like the Plague Doctor, these two are two sides of the same coin. You will never lose your light, but try not to let it go out too many times.
Absolutely. Back into the black envelope of ornament.
Now, with these, there is 40 of each design this time, because of the horrendous price rises in the stainless steel market at the moment. To deliver this collection, we've had to cut down on the amount we also. It is more limited, but to try and compensate for that, we're going to try and have slightly more frequent releases next year, depending on what the state of the world is. As obviously,
all we can do is try.
We don't know, but our aim is next year to have more than one release. So though these will be smaller batches, there will be more releases of them and more options, because eventually we'd like to try and do the entire Furfark runes.
Absolutely. So we've got a few to go through.
Just a few.
Absolutely. And just like with all the releases we've done, same as with the first one, which was Fayu, and that was amazing. We've also done some new pendants and so on that aren't limited. So, for instance, for that we have the Leviathan Cross and different designs and so on that are based around that. We also have a little tiny version of our pentagram as well, which, there you go. So, being worn there, which is, it looks so cute, I have to say. We were straight away like, oh, that's just amazing, we'd love it. Because
it goes along with the subtlety a lot of you like in our designs, because though Satanic Panic isn't the most subtle of the lines we do, it just gives you an option for those of you that maybe have more strict workplaces or have to be around people that aren't so tolerant of things outside the norm. So it's just a slightly little more sort of subtle way for times where you can't wear the big pendants without having too many questions or people being a pain.
Absolutely. And of course we've got our semi-precious stones that have come in. In fact, there's even one on our double layered Lilith design, and we've got amazing synthetic opal as well, which they just shine. They are absolutely incredible.
So we've got options to suit everybody.
Absolutely.
If you like natural stones, or if you want non-mined stones, we have a bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, and of course our stainless steel. So but so that is it for the moment. We shan't keep you any longer. But just again, obviously with everything, with how horrible it's been recently, thank you all so keeping up the support, sharing. well, little bits of videos we've done and so on, but images and everything.
And all the lovely messages you guys send us, like the amount of times like when we get an order come through and you've left a really nice message for us, that always means the absolute world, because though we're not out round the country like we used to be, it's really nice to sort of know that you guys are still thinking about us and want to know how we're getting on.
Absolutely,
and we couldn't ask for better people.
Absolutely, and can I just say to those who said like just the feel of them have made them feel better, and the fact that like when they've said about the fact that it's like they kind of fiddle with them, which we do as well, so we fiddle with them and so on and everything. It's can I say, I just feel so honoured, genuinely,
and
so
humbled.
It's just wow.
So I still think we have moments where this doesn't
feel quite
real.
Yeah, absolutely. So we shall leave you there. We won't leave you there. We'll leave the video there. And again, thank you all so much. This is our second batch of the Scarlet Satanic Panic, and we hope you love it as much as we love it.
Thank you all for watching.
Absolutely.